and I started seeing the shells on the bottom, and it was like, wow, there's another one, there's another one. And within 6 weeks, they were all dead.
Coral reefs are dying at an alarming rate due to several factors, unfortunately, most of which are human-influenced. We must change our footprint on coral reefs very soon due to the immense importance that it plays to the ecosystem as a whole. Coral provides food and shelter for fish and other reef-dwelling animals, and a buffer for sedimentation in the oceans. Right now, at least 30% of the Big Island's coral is bleached. At this rate, the effects will be detrimental on the aquatic ecosystems off the coast of Hawaii in less than 30 years.
One of the causes of coral reef death is sedimentation. Sedimentation is caused by wild goats deforesting the land on the Hawaiian Islands, and then once it rains, all of the sediment from the surface is washed downwards towards the ocean. In addition, tsunamis wash immense amounts of dirt and sand over coral. Once it lands in the ocean, all of the coral is covered and blocked by sunlight. Then zooxanthellae, an algae that provides oxygen to coral polyps, can no longer use photosynthesis for the polyps to survive. The blocking of sunlight also causes the growth of macroalgae, which can cause diseases.
Just pulls everything that's in that leach field right out. So on top of the cesspool effluent going out and the leach field effluent, then now we have a problem.
Another major cause of destruction in coral reefs is pollutants being washed into the ocean through rain and groundwater. The main form of waste disposal in Hawaii is cesspools. These pools are simply holes in the ground that use leach fields as an overflow regulator. When waste runs through a leach field, it goes through several underground filtration processes before being released into the ocean. However, waste often contaminates groundwater, which runs into the ocean. The chemicals from this waste are extremely harmful to coral and can kill entire coral colonies in less than 2 weeks. Fertilizer used in plants that wash off by rain and groundwater are also harmful to coral. In large amounts, they can kill entire coral colonies.
Climate change is a major problem that nearly every person faces on a day-to-day basis. Coastal regions that rely on the environment for daily activities suffer heavily, especially within the communities of Hawaii. Daily activities are being affected by the pollution of plastic. According to National Geographic, on some beaches of the Big Island of Hawaii, as much as 15% of the sand is actually grains of microplastic. Also, ocean plastic is estimated to kill millions of marine animals every year, nearly 700 species including endangered ones. Plastic production has added to the effects of climate change, which is the buildup of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere, which also are the result of human pollution. Due to the abundance of gases, heat is trapped within the atmosphere, and over time, surface and ocean temperatures begin to rise. Nearly a 1-degree difference in the ocean's temperature can drastically harm the coral, leading to the common issue of coral bleaching. Since 1901, the temperature of the ocean has risen on average 0.13 degrees per decade and been recorded as consistently warmer in the previous 3 decades than ever before. By the year 2020, ocean temperatures are predicted to rise nearly 1.5 degrees since 1901, which can cause permanent and irreversible damage to the Earth's coral reefs.
Other causes of coral reef death is from human impacts, which includes climate change, overfishing, sunscreen, and chemicals from agriculture. An issue is the overfishing in certain areas, which can cause an imbalance in the coral reef's fragile ecosystem and cause death. Sunscreens that contain oxybenzone are an extremely harmful chemical to coral reefs. According to the New York Times, oxybenzone, a common chemical found in sunscreens, is toxic to the symbiotic algae that lives within corals, which provides their color and performs other vital duties. Also, even when you are not near the ocean, chemicals such as oxybenzone can reach the ocean. Chemicals in sunscreen that come off while swimming or travel through sewage systems, when washed off in the shower, are bigger than climate change in causing coral reef damage. This may not seem substantial, but also according to the New York Times, 14,000 tons of sunscreen is deposited in the world's oceans each year.
You really want to know where people stand. This is their pocketbook. We're not here to force anything on anyone. It's their decision. So it's just about talking to the community, getting the community involved, making them part of the process.
Although there are several ways coral can be negatively impacted, you as an individual can help reverse harm to coral reefs. For one, check your sunscreen for coral-killing chemicals. Any form of microplastic sphere or beads, oxybenzone, octinoxate, octocrylene, and many other chemicals have severe impacts on coral. Mineral sunblocks including zinc oxide and titanium dioxide that are non-nano in size are considered safe. Second, reduce your use of fertilizers and garden chemicals to avoid chemicals in groundwater. Attempt to reduce your carbon footprint by carpooling to get places, recycle, and use minimal electricity. Of course, there are several other ways to reduce your use of fossil fuels, but these are just a few examples. Lastly, do your best to raise awareness for coral. The more people that are actively involved, the better equipped we will be to preserve our beautiful reefs.